Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Surviving Prison After Prison. Wow, has it been one heck of a week? I'm so glad to be here with you now because, quite frankly, like I had posted, I got into a car accident that could have had me not here. So I've become extremely grateful to just be present right now. So let's begin. I hope everybody has had a good week since we last talked. Like I said, mine has been very eventful. Let me start by catching you up. That's how I like to start this show. So let's see. Let's talk about the car accident. I got hit by another vehicle. Unfortunately, it was my fault because I ran a stop sign, driving really frazzled, very upset, very shooken up by some situation that had been building up and escalating and going on for a period of time. And instead of handling it and nipping it in the bud, I actually allowed it to go on a lot longer than what it should have, and it affected me and my train of thought when I should have been concentrating and focusing more. I was way too frazzled, ended up not noticing a stop sign. I ran it and got hit, and both cars were totaled. I got my butt beat by the airbag like you would not believe. I don't know if we can see, this is kind of what's left of it. Those airbags are something else, man. Let me tell you something. Both of them deployed. I just have to say this, though this is really not a religious program, because I am a woman of strong faith. I'm not going to deny my God or what he does in my life. And there will be times when I do speak and give praise reports or just acknowledge him, because he is a major part of my life and I'm nothing without him. I can definitely tell you that I felt that I know for a fact that God was with me, because if you were to have seen the vehicle and what it looked like on the outside, you would have sworn that there should have been more damage to the interior where I was. But in all actuality, it ended up being where it didn't even look from the inside like the car had been hit on the outside. It was actually a very amazing situation. I walked away with a few bumps and scrapes, but I didn't incur any serious injury, and really righteously so I should have. So that was a pretty amazing thing right then and there. God just let me know that I'm here with you. I've got you. You don't need to be worried nor afraid. And so that was a pretty amazing thing. It really and truly was. So I'm grateful for that. And I'll get a little more into what led up to that incident occurring, because that's going to get into our permissions segment. But just catch you up on that. The next thing I wanted to catch you up with was, like I posted, I went out on kind of like just a friend date, but I went out for the very first time, and it really changed my mind in some ways. There's still some bitterness that I'm dealing with. My incarceration, well, unfortunately, was a result of making poor choices in who I was going to be in a relationship with, and trying to keep a man, so to speak, trying to prove my love for him, and I did some very wrongful things that hurt a lot of people, unfortunately. So I'm still jaded in some ways. I'm still dealing with a lot of that. Anger, and just looking at men and relationships in a really bad way, relationships in general. God's still doing a lot of work on me and my heart in that respect. But anyway, I decided to give this person a chance and just go out on a friend date and just see, I wouldn't even necessarily, I don't know that I would call it a date, but just going out for the first time, because I've been really riding solo by myself and enjoying it for the most part. But I thought, there are certain areas of life that maybe I need to try and give a second chance to. And just going out with a friend, I hadn't even really been willing to do a whole lot of that, especially someone that was a male. But anyway, it ended up being great. He was very respectful. He was a gentleman, never tried anything. I laughed. I had good, clean fun. Went and saw the movie Split. whoa is all I can say. Whoa. That was an amazing thing. It was a later show. But we went there and, returned home. And we sat in the parking lot of his place and talked for, a little while and looked over Facebook and stuff like that and had a few laughs. And then after that, it was a hug. He went his way and I went home on mine, and it was great. And I've come to learn that not all men are bad guys. Not all men are trying to get down your pants or trying to be disrespectful. In other words, it's okay to give things a second chance, even when you've been burned in some pretty bad ways. And so I'm learning. It's a process. That's what this show is about, going through processes. And I'm just here to say that sometimes even when what should be healthy situations burn you in the butt, doesn't mean you should give up on them completely. Just like for us broken women, just because you've had some bad relationships doesn't mean that you can't in time give it another chance, but make sure that you're in a healthy space, so you're making healthier choices and picking healthier people to go and do things with and give those areas second chances with. So anyway, that was pretty good, pretty awesome and exciting. The next thing, my Frey is home, my emotional support animal. Thank you guys for everyone that was praying, everyone that even cared. But come on, Frey. Come here, baby. Come. He went to the beauty salon today, and I'm so proud of him. Let me see. He's lazy. He's tired. Come on, Suggs. Come on, baby. This is not pet time. Come here. Come here. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if I can get Frey to say hello. Frey, can you say hello? Hello, see my baby Frey. Hello, Frey. Hello, Charlie Frey. Anyway, so he smells like a man. He went and got himself all prettied up, and they put a little bandana on him. Shout out to PetSmart out there on Berry Hill. They did a phenomenal job on my baby. He smells great. He looks great. He is medically doing a lot better, and we're both just enjoying each other's company. Thank God he was not in the van with me when I was driving, and so I'm very happy to say he was home safe and sound, and I've slept. Well, last night I was sore. I felt like Mike Tyson had kicked my butt, and I'd been hit by a Mack truck when I woke up this morning. But, I've been sleeping better. My nerves have actually been a whole lot better since he's been back home. So I'm really grateful and happy for that. So there we go. That's just catching you up on just, the nitty gritty particulars, as to what was going on. I just want to say this though about that car accident. It really has affected me in a lot of, ways. Once again, not only have I been reminded of the might and power, mercy and grace of God, but I've also been reminded how precious time is and how not to waste it. Because first of all, we don't ever know how much time we actually have. And second of all, it's very valuable, whether you have 5 months or 500 years. I really encourage you not to waste your time and not to take time for granted. And that's not just for us that are released. That's for family members. I really just want to reach out and tell y'all that, take it into consideration when you're busting our chops. Take it into consideration when you are trying to go easy and take things slow. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but just remember this. Time is valuable. You don't know how much time that you have with a loved one, even the ones that you're disappointed in, leery of, have questions about, even have some anger there. You don't know how much time you have left to try and work through those things with them, with having access to them. My father passed away in 2014, and it was very devastating for me, very, very devastating for me. Not having him a whole lot in my life growing up actually was very, very damaging for me. And I had always held on to the hope, that I was going to be able to work past those things with my father and to have a relationship with him. And unfortunately, my poor choices cut that option out because he passed away while I was incarcerated. And now I have to live with the pain of not getting answers, not, possibly of having had a relationship, receiving that father's love or approval. Who knows if it would have ever come, but the fact is that I'll never know because now he's gone. And I don't wish that on anybody. Sometimes we just have to step out and take chances. Sometimes we just have to let go. Sometimes we just have to take risks. Family members. Hey, and you guys that are hiding from family members that haven't stepped out and at least made an effort to try because you're so afraid of rejection, I say go for it. Go for it. Because we don't know. We aren't promised tomorrow. We absolutely aren't. And I don't wish it on anybody to be sitting there going through the hurt and the pain that I go through because I don't have my dad there to do that walk with, to even see. I don't have closure. Either closure on a bad past with him and now having a future, or just closure and having answers and us being able to go on our separate ways. So I don't have any of that anymore. And y'all just take some things into consideration before you hesitate any longer, before you deny yourself or that other person any longer.